Alright guys, so today we're going to be working on the sway bar link on the passenger side. As you can see here, there is a bushing missing there and there. So this whole thing can move around. That's actually pretty dangerous, so we're going to go ahead and replace this whole entire piece right here. It's a very simple job. It just takes take a 12mm wrench and a 12mm socket. One on the top, one on the bottom here, and we'll break her loose. Alright guys, so for this next process right here, I went ahead and took my crescent wrench, stuck it on right here, the way you can press down on it. Now I'm just going to take my knee and press down on this, the way I have both hands to reach in there, and we'll be able to get all the parts put back together, because you have to be able to get this separated. So, here we go. Alright, now that we have the band cut off the boot back there, we're going to, as you can see, I just moved this outer tie rod out of the way, so we're going to just drop it back down. We're going to reinstall the knuckle arm with the hub assembly on it. We're going to reattach it down at the bottom and up here at the top. Then we're going to take this outer tie rod and we're going to slide it back up inside, though we have pressure on it so we can get this back nut loose. Once we get that off, we will spin this and count the rotations as it comes off. When we put the new one on, we will count the rotations the same, put it back on. It won't be 100%, but it'll be very close. After doing this job, I recommend getting a front end alignment. That way you don't, your tires don't wear unevenly. Alright, now after we've gotten all of this reattached, we just have this on here. It's still loose, but just enough to hold it in there. We'll take our wrench, stick it in here, and we'll pry this off. Oh. Again, we just want to get this loosened. Alright, now take this nut back off. We're going to spin this off and count the number of rotations it takes to take it off. So when you twist this around, as it's going, make sure it comes all the way back up, and that would be a full rotation. Alright, so we're going to count this. 1, 2, 3, 6. Alright, now after you get the outer tie rod off, you're going to take this special tool right here. You can see there's a big hole in the middle. You take the correct size that you need, one of these. This one's a 17 millimeter. I've already stuck it up on there, but you just slide it in here and twist this over. And then here at the other end, you take your ratchet, stick down in there, and that'll give you the torque you need to get it off. So I've already got this one installed. So we're just going to take and slide this on, and I'll show you how to get it off. And there we have it, guys. That is the inner tie rod removal. So putting it back in is the same process. We'll just take the new one, thread it inside there. We'll take the 17 millimeter, slide back on top of here, and then put the tool back on, tighten it up. You don't have to worry about counting the rotations of this because it'll be the same either way. Alright, now I'm going to put this on. We're going to keep going with the rotations. Putting it back on. We're going to count it the same way. Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to be replacing the upper control arm here. As you can see here, this upper ball joint is completely shot, so we're going to be replacing this control arm. Alright, so here we are on the top side of the engine bay. We're going to have to remove the fuse box here. There's 3 10mm bolts. We're going to remove those with a 10mm ratchet, and we'll be able to get to the bolts underneath. Now after you get this loosened up, you can undo other things on here and make it a little bit easier, I guess, to get to it. But if you have a short 17mm socket and ratchet, and I guess you could get in there with the wrench too if you wanted to. If you just lift up on this, this will be able to slide right in and you'll have plenty of room to get that nut off. Alright, now that we've got that bolt off, we're going to work on this other side now. The upper control arm, again you can see here, this is completely shot. So So we're just going to go ahead and replace this up here. These aren't as bad, but you can still see that the rubber is getting pretty worn out. So it's just a good idea just to change the whole thing right now while we're at it. So let's get the new one and stick it in there. Alright, so when you get your upper control arm out of the bag, it's going to have this little plastic cover on it. Just take that little plastic cover, take the nut off, remove that plastic cover. You don't need that. This is what you're going to need right here. For now, we're just going to take the nut and stick back on top. It's also going to come with a brand new Carter pin, which will fit inside of here. Now do keep in mind, when you get these out, you can't just slap these right in. You have to tighten these first. Why they come loose, I'm not 100% sure, but we can adjust the pressure on them. You can torque them down if you want to, but I'm just going to use a socket and a wrench. We're going to tighten both of these sides down. Alright, now that we've gotten everything tightened up, you'll notice that the bottoms of these are boxed off here. So these will just slide right in, and they should just pop right into place. And they'll hold themselves in, so we can go back to the top side and tighten them down. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the same thing again, but in reverse. Make sure that you use the new nuts that come with it. You'll be much happier that way. These are lock washers. The other ones were not lock washers, but these ones will stay on good and tight when you put them on. So same thing in reverse. We're just going to put the two nuts on and retighten back down our fuse box. Alright, so now we have our upper control arm installed, our new one here. As you can see here, it's good and stiff compared to the old one.